This is Hannibal from the HannibalTV.com. I've had a long day of putting up posters for the Great North Wrestling Apocalypse event, October the 19th, featuring Haku, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Savio Vega, Wes Briscoe, the Blood Hunter, Lady Yasmin, and a lot more. 2 girls matches on that card. More information at thehannibaltv.com. And I'm going to give you guys a daily news update here before I head off to pump some iron. Hello, Michael Kennedy and Brian Rose. I find this hilarious that WWE only drew a 1.71 rating for Raw this week that included Stone Cold Steve Austin making an appearance. Oh, someone says they wish they could headbutt my face. That's really funny. You know, everyone loves to be internet warriors, but for some reason, whenever these people see me in real life, nothing like that happens. And when that has happened, when I've been doing my bouncing jobs, when people attempt that, they always end up on the losing end. But back to this 1.71 with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The last time they had Steve Austin on their show was July 22nd, and it drew a 2.12 rating. So it's dropped. The specialness of Steve Austin reappearing has gone down. MSG did not sell out for Raw, and they actually did really poorly for SmackDown. This is the live version that Chris Kidd is watching right now. But for the non-live version, for the screenshot, I'm going to put a crowd shot of the SmackDown. The Wrestling Observer had reported that the SmackDown taping looks like that's going to be very possible. I don't know if there might be a connection problem here. I think it's back now. Kevin Owens did an angle where supposedly he was fired. There's rumors that he's going to be one of the guys from the main roster going to the NXT show USA. Kevin Owens has been featured in many of all-time rating lows main events. So I don't know if he's going to help NXT beat AEW's numbers. Too bad. Triple H has said that NXT UK, and 205 Live are likely going to merge. So should be interesting. I don't think any of the current roster of those 3 rosters right now could beat AEW's roster as far as mainstream interest. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these Wednesday night wars play out. Apparently 205 Live might air on the WWE network after NXT's USA show in the future. In other news, Bray Wyatt, who's wrestling as The Fiend now, defeated Curtis Axel and his brother Bo Dallas in the dark match of SmackDown last night at Madison Square Garden. It's interesting. In one of the last interviews, Curtis Axel's grandfather, Larry the Axe Hennig, did before he died, it was a couple of years ago with me. He said that Curtis had re-signed and he was about to get a big push. I haven't been following WWE, but it doesn't look like that happened. Let me take a look at some of the comments. Someone said they changed from Raw as soon as Austin's segment was over. I only saw the Austin AJ Stunner thing from Austin's Twitter. That's the most I saw of Raw, and that's about all my attention span could be on WWE. But I heard on the Wrestling Observer's radio that Austin's presence was way more than any of the current superstars. So they don't know if it was a good thing to show that on a regular basis, how much more charisma and presence he has than the members of the current roster. But apparently Austin's interview show didn't do that well in the ratings after Raw this week either. football season's back on. That may have had something to do with it, but football has been around always. So they're still hitting all-time lows for ratings. Let's see some other comments on here. There's a lot of them, and I have tired eyes today. The ladies in WWE are pretty strong. There's a lot of attractive ones on. It is on in the gym very often when I'm training, and the attractive women of WWE certainly draw my eyes from my workouts. So, yeah, I'm not going to answer too many more comments because I got to go to the gym, build up these arms more, pump some iron. The last piece of news I'll say is Seth Rollins apparently recently discovered he had siblings he did not know that he had. So that I can relate to that because I found out a few years ago that I had siblings that I didn't know I had, and I actually met them for the first time on a French documentary television show. So it was actually recorded on camera the first time I met my siblings. I have stayed somewhat in contact with them since. So that's interesting that Seth Rollins had the same situation. I also found out that I had a mother that was right about to pass away when I found out she was still alive. So I met her 3 times before she passed away in her early 50s from cancer. So I was happy I got to meet her. Do I speak French? Yes, I speak French. Someone's asking on here. I had a whole French documentary television show about me. So that's it for tonight. Am I of French descent? No, I'm half English. So if any more news happens between now and when I get back from the gym, I'll do another update. One last comment. Someone tweeted to me that they had an issue with a video I posted today, a clip from an interview I did with a former Canadian minister of national political posts. Someone said I'm half French. No, I'm not half French at all. I just know how to speak French because in Canada, particularly this area of Canada, you got to know a little French. But I was trained by the Mountie Jacques Rougeau, and he did a lot of his training in French. I've been talking to him about trying to get a follow-up shoot interview with him. He agreed to it, but he hasn't set a date. But I really hope I can get a follow-up shoot interview with Jacques Rougeau because the first one I did with him was, I think, the 3rd ever shoot interview I ever conducted. And I was going through hepatitis C treatment. At that time, I got cured from that treatment, but I didn't like how I looked in that interview, and I didn't like my interview skills in that interview. So I would like to redo another one. Someone says I should interview Jamie Dundee. A lot of people have asked that. That could happen. And someone also, Patrick J, is asking me about Brian Knobbs' GoFundMe. I've had a lot of people ask me recently about Brian Knobbs' GoFundMe, if that's legitimate. I haven't spoken to Brian Knobbs much. I did a shoot interview with him this year. It's on for free. Also did the Hannibal TV live show with him. That's up now for free if you want to search that up. I do know he has medical problems. So as far as does he need help paying for medical issues, as far as I know, I haven't spoken to him directly, but that could very well be it. What was Brian Knobbs like? I would not want to hang out with him too much more in the future to answer that question. Danny Purdue is asking, have I been contacted by AEW? No, I have not. Superstar Billy Graham actually did a video this past, I believe it was April, video directly to Cody Rhodes saying they should hire me. I mean, I've wrestled Kevin Nash, Psycho Sid, Kamala, Brutus Beefcake, AJ Styles, Jinder Mahal, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Tyson Kidd, Teddy Hart numerous times. I can't even count all the famous wrestlers I've wrestled. Ricky Banderas, all different styles of wrestling. I have many years of experience in the business. I'm 6'4", 265 pounds. But for some reason, they would rather hire younger, smaller wrestlers with very little experience. Why? I don't know. I can't answer that question. Probably the same reason why none of the other companies will hire me, maybe because they know that I actually have no idea. So that's why I'm sticking to reporting right now and promoting